Hey, good afternoon. Crazy Amy here with another episode of Stories from the Hoop Circle. Today I have a very special guest. She is my niece's daughter, and so she's hanging out with old Aunt Amy here. This is Madison. Madison, what's your full name?
Madison Szumita.
Madison Szumita, and she's joining us here. We are on a channel here at Lake Wawasee in Indiana where we get to hang out every summer. One of the things Madison does with me is she hoops, and so she qualifies for Stories from the Hoop Circle. But Madison is a very special girl. She is multi-talented and likes to do lots of different things. Tell me some of the things you like to do.
Like in general, or
Yes.
like I don't know. I like to swim here, of course, because yeah, it's really beautiful here, and I like to hula hoop. I don't really know what else. I like to hang out with you guys. That's really what I like to do.
She's kind of crafty too. I've seen her doing some fun coloring books, and
Oh yeah, that
we
too.
play a lot of games at the lake too. We're always kind of running around and that sort of thing. A little bit of tubing. She's kind of a water kid. That's why we like it here so much. So Madison eats kind of special foods, and she eats special foods not because she woke up one day and thought, "Oh, I need to eat special foods." She was kind of born, and her parents were told she needs to eat special foods. So Madison, what's the title? What is it that you
It's
have?
called PKU.
And
Um,
and I looked up. There's another name for that. That's the short version. It's phenylketonuria, and I probably didn't say that quite right, but it's PKU. So tell me a little bit about what PKU means to you.
Means to me, it makes me different in my own kind of way. So I really like that.
She's unique. I like that too.
Some people say, how do you live like that, not eating meat with, like, because I'm not allowed to eat protein, so they're like, how do you live with, like, not eating meat and not eating stuff like that? Like, I can't eat chips or anything like that. They're like, how can you not eat that? And I'm just like, I'm used to it because I've never really tried anything
Right.
different.
Right.
So,
So on that, she cannot eat protein because protein in her body will cause lots of problems, and depending on how early they catch PKU, infants are screened for PKU. So Madison was very lucky that that screening was something that was happening. I'd never heard of it until Madison came along, and so that's how you learn of things. And by doing this today, I'm actually trying to center us a little bit better. There we go. By doing this, we kind of hope that maybe there's some other little boy or girl out there who maybe has PKU and finds out that there's some other little girl right here who has PKU and is living the good life, swimming, hooping, crafty, loving movies, and doing all the things you do, and paying attention to her diet. Her diet, PKU diet, bans meat, fish, chicken, eggs, nuts, beans, milk, and other dairy products. People with PKU also need to avoid aspartame, a type of peptide composed of aspartic, if I said it right, I hope, acid, and phenylalanine. And phenylalanine is what's not good. And so these are things that she has to avoid, and she's always avoided them. 1 in 4 have a chance of having PKU when both parents are carriers of the genetic carrier. And so you told me that
I know how I got
yeah,
it.
yeah,
Because my parents told me when I was born that they both carried the gene, so they gave it to me. But I have 2 older brothers, but my oldest brother has a different mom, and my middle brother, he has a different dad, so that's why they didn't get it. That's why I got it.
right.
Mhm.
So you're the one.
I'm the one.
So of the foods you can eat, what are your favorite foods?
My favorite food that I can eat is probably like any vegetable or fruit.
Yay. I'm a fan of both. What's your very favorite fruit?
blackberries or
Really?
raspberries. Yeah.
Really? That's awesome because blackberries and raspberries are quite the favorite in our house. Yeah, and then what about vegetable? What's your favorite vegetable?
My favorite vegetable is probably a radish or.
Really?
I don't. Yeah, radishes are good. I mean, that's
Yeah.
the only one that I really like.
Really?
Yeah.
As a kid, I would take radishes right out of the ground, wash them off, and eat them. I
They have a
loved
little
them.
spice to them.
They do.
But if you put a little salt on them, they're really good.
They are a little bit zippy. They're zippy. I like radishes. So Madison has PKU, and so at school, what about how do you do school lunch and things like that?
They provide it for me, but now since I'm going into 6th grade and I'm going to a new school, they're just gonna probably. They said that they're gonna ship all my food that I had in elementary school to the middle school, and then I'm just gonna eat like I did every day at school.
So at school, you had a plan for it as well.
Yes, like they would make a menu and they would stick it on the wall so I could see what I was having the next day.
Nice, really nice. So you didn't have to always bag your lunch and bring it and that sort of thing.
I used to in kindergarten and
Sure.
1st grade, but then
Sure.
they started getting like the idea about like how I could have, how they could just make my food there.
That's good. That's really good.
And usually they relate to the food that the other kids are having.
That's good too. That's good too. So you mentioned that some people say, "Well, how can you live without this?" And you're like, "I've never had it." So how does that? It's sort of an interesting concept because that's not necessarily the case. When people do a diet, usually they're making a choice. Like I eat certain foods and I don't eat other foods, and I make a choice to eliminate them, and the choice was made for you. But how do you feel about that?
Like, I don't really know. I don't feel that bad for myself because I've never really tried anything other than my food.
Yeah.
But I don't really know.
You don't really know. Well, I think that's good. I think that's good because you know what you need to do. You do it, and if you haven't done it, then how do you know, right? So, what do you think some of the challenges are for other kids like you? What do you think the challenges are when you're a PKU kid?
A challenge still for me is trying to keep my levels down.
Tell me about your levels. What do you do to check
Okay.
your levels?
To check my levels, I get kind of a piece of paper, and then I prick any of my fingers except my thumbs, because you use your thumbs when you're little, and then you use your toes when you're little.
Oh, okay.
So when you're about 5 or 6, you use your thumb.
Okay.
When you're about 18 months or 1 to 7, you use your big toe.
Okay.
And then right now I can use any 3 of these fingers to
Okay.
find out my levels, but what I do is I prick them. I use this one.
Yes.
I prick it, and then I put it on the piece of paper, and there's 2 circles that I have to fill in with all my blood.
Okay.
And then we let it dry, and then we send it to my special doctor, and her name's Judy Miller, and she is the best PKU doctor ever. She's encouraged me to do everything right.
Yeah.
and-
that's awesome.
And she
Judy, you said Judy?
yeah, Judy
Way to go,
Miller.
Judy. We love you. Go ahead.
And she's a real inspiration, especially because she's been my doctor since I was little.
Yeah.
So I really hope that she's my doctor for a while.
Yeah. So then what
And-
does she do with that paper that has your blood on it?
Oh, she'll take it to the lab, I guess, and scan it to try to figure out my levels.
Okay, and you're looking for protein levels?
Yes.
Okay. And then
Phi
what is
levels.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is it called?
Phi levels.
Phi levels.
Yeah.
So what does she do? She calls you up and says, "Hello, Madison."
She calls my mom, or she texts my mom my
Yes.
levels, and then she'll make an appointment with me next.
Mhm.
I'm not sure when my next appointment is. It's August 11th or something, but I have one each month.
So you see her monthly, and you keep track of this every month, and every month she lets you know your levels are good or your levels are not so good. Look at this. Maybe we need to work on it a little bit.
I do need to work on it. I just have to start drinking my milk more.
Okay. And you have a special milk.
Yes.
You have to order it and it's sent to you.
Yep.
Because she can't have protein. She can't have any dairy. So she has a special cheese.
And it's my milk's practically like medicine. If I don't drink it, then I can then my levels tend to get really, really high.
Okay.
Because I've been eating stuff with a little protein in it, but then I just haven't been, because my milk helps me get it back down.
I see.
But it didn't. Like, if I don't drink my milk, then it doesn't get back down. Then they don't go back down.
So that's really important.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like medicine. That's really neat. So you know that.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's something that you can manage and work with. Now, you were talking before about how she sends you one of your doctors sends you a special calendar around the holidays.
Yeah, she sends me a special calendar around the holidays, and 1 through however many days it has in a month.
Yes.
They have my little special chocolate behind, so they have
special chocolate. Yes.
They have the calendar and then the chocolates behind it. So if it's the 28th, I'll open the 28th and take it and eat it, and then you just follow that by.
So you do get special treats, but you can't have regular chocolate, right?
Mm-mm.
So
I don't know what it's about, but I just can't have it.
I don't know what it's about. I don't either. But I know when we had a birthday cake here, we cut off the chocolate and she could eat the vanilla and the icing, but she couldn't have the chocolate part of the cake.
Yeah.
So, and one of the cousins actually, they traded. She gave her the vanilla, the other cousin took the chocolate, and made it it worked out. Yeah. And when she eats pizza, she'll clear off the cheese, so if there's any cheese takers. So Madison really has that kind of how to make it work under control.
I also have my special pizza because I have this gluten-free crust at
Mm-hmm.
Hy-Vee, and then we'll take this special pizza sauce and we'll spread it, and then we'll put my special cheese. The only reason I found out about the special pizza crust and the special cheese and the sauce was because we went on this little tour in Hy-Vee.
Yeah.
And they I guess they showed us things that we could have in Hy-Vee, because there was a lot of kids there with PKU, so we all met in Hy-Vee, and it was actually really nice getting to meet some people who had PKU.
Nice.
But they were all younger than me. None of them were my age. The only one that was my age that I tend to be friends with, she had a little sister, and she was 2 or 3, but she didn't even understand PKU yet. But her oldest sister was 10, and I was 10 at the time, so we kind of just hung out and talked, and I talked to her about my diet and stuff, so yeah, that was pretty cool.
So she was there, was she there to understand it for her sister?
Yes.
Nice. And it would be kind of cool to meet some other people, because
it was really cool, and it was nice, and yeah.
And was this a nutritionist that took you around then?
Yes. No, it was my Dr. Judy.
Oh, Dr. Judy went in. Well, that's outstanding. And that's important for you to find these things out. Mm-hmm. Now, Madison will look at labels, and she'll look at information on those labels, and if she can't figure it out, she'll go ask her mom. And she spends a lot of time reading labels where a lot of kids don't even know what's on the labels, right?
Yeah.
And she's looking for the protein. Now, beautiful Lake Wawasee had a dock go in or something fixed, and so there's a pier boat putzing behind us right now. I don't know if you're going to hear that on the microphone, but there it is. So we're on a channel, and this is what happens on the lake. So, well, Madison, what would you say to anybody out there who either wants to know more about PKU or what would you say? Where do you get information about PKU? Where do you get the best information? Obviously, your doctor at Hy-Vee was a good thing.
Yeah.
But
where I get the best information, I guess my parents just know a lot about it, and they get a call whether or not I get that or not. like sometimes pizza's pretty high for me, but my parents still get a call if I have it or not.
What do you mean?
Like pizza's high,
Yes.
but I'm allowed to have it every once in a while.
Right.
So they get a call if I get to have it.
Okay. So
Like they get a say in if I get to have
they
it.
get a call. I thought you meant a phone call, and I'm like,
Oh,
who
no.
calls them? And so you check with your parents and you make sure you monitor
Yes.
it with their help too.
Yes, and the other day we were at Lowe's or Menards or something, and there was a Steak and Shake right there, and I asked my mom if I could have a shake there, and she said no.
Oh, yeah, she has to be the meanie then, right?
She's just trying to, like, my levels are high right now, so I need to just try to work on those getting down.
And maybe drinking some of your milk.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's what happens at the lake. There's just lots of, it's kind of a
Treats.
Yes.
There's a lot of treats
There's
here.
a lot of treats. And actually, Madison can eat lots of foods that, what are some of the foods you can eat that maybe wouldn't be considered good foods? They'd be kind of considered junk foods.
I don't really know.
Well, like candy.
Candy, yeah. Candy is not high for me unless it's chocolate.
So she can eat like lots of different candies, and it's
good for me.
it's in essence good for her. Living on candy probably wouldn't though.
No, I don't really like candy that much. The only time I really like candy is when I haven't had it in a while.
Yeah, true. So, so you said good information comes from parents. Where else can you go for good information about PKU?
The internet.
Internet's great because that's what I did. I took my iPad to find out a little bit more about PKU. But if you know somebody like Madison and you can learn a little bit about PKU to make their day a little more special, do that. And if you're somebody out there with PKU, you're not alone. You're 1 in 4 if your parents are the carrier of it. And I think they said there's like something like 74 kids are diagnosed a day with PKU.
Yeah, there is.
And it sounds like a lot to me, but 74 kids, I guess, I'm thinking in the U.S. I'll look at my little information here. But it's not, it's rare, and you don't hear of it because I never heard of it till you were diagnosed with it.
Yeah.
And so it says 1 in 4. This means about 74 infants every day are diagnosed with PKU. 1 in 4 have a chance of having PKU if both parents are carriers, and blood tests are required for infant newborns in 50 states. PKU does not shorten a person's life expectancy with or without treatment, so yay. And PKU has different names. For example, the one that I said at the beginning, not very well, phenylketonuria, PKU, Fowling's disease, and another one that's very long that I won't say well, so I'm just not going to. But in any case...
Also, they said if I don't get my levels down, then they're going to have to put like a tube to the back of my throat to my stomach, and then they're going to like make me drink my milk through that.
Ooh.
And because I haven't been drinking my milk but I've been starting to, and
you have to do that.
Yeah,
right?
I'm going to do that just because that's gonna hurt.
Yeah, and that wouldn't be fun. So I vote for just drinking a glass of the milk that's medicine.
Yeah, but they make me finish. Well, I'm supposed to finish a whole 20. So I use 140 like powder and 24 ounces of water, and so I'm supposed to drink that all by the end of the day.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
I bet you can do it though.
I can.
So,
I've done it before.
Madison has great aspirations when she grows up. What do you want to be when you grow up?
I want to be a PKU doctor when I grow up.
Yep. And don't you think you could be the best doctor ever?
Yes, because I would be a doctor with experience.
She has experience now. She would be a doctor with experience because it will be something that she will be helping other children live with, and you've lived with it your whole life.
Yeah.
Right?
They're trying to make a cure for it, but they've been working on one.
Mm-hmm.
But
Until then, you have
Until
some
then.
special foods and other foods you just
Yeah.
don't need to eat, right?
Yeah, and they say if you get your levels way down, that maybe you'll get rid of PKU, but
Huh.
I don't think that would happen, honestly.
That'd be a real challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't think there's any challenge that this kid's not up for. She's smart. She's witty. She's a fabulous hooper. She has the most beautiful blonde hair. I just wish I had that hair. I was like, don't wear a hat. I want to see your beautiful hair. So, with that, Madison and I, as she laughs, Madison and I are going to hoop out to a little Ben Sounds. Thanks, Ben Sounds, for the great tunes. And I want to thank you for joining Maddie, Miss Maddie, and myself on another episode of Tales from the Hoop Circle. Thanks for being here.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Thanks for hanging out. We're going to go hoop out now. Get out of the way.
I don't know how to do the shimmy thing.
That's okay. Look at those are the right things.